Hi, so I went to the store today and they had some really good deals on flowers. So I chose the best of the cheap ones and they were white. So I'm going to do a monochrome arrangement today, or really just two colors, green and white. I've got something to help keep my flowers fresh that they gave me. So I'm going to go ahead and mix that into my vase of water. And let that get dissolving here. Mix it up a little bit with my plastic fork so that it doesn't hurt my glass. Okay, that'll help preserve my flowers. And another thing that'll help preserve my flowers is the ones that I have no idea how long they've been sitting at the store is to do what they call conditioning. And so you can condition in several different ways, but today what I'm going to do is put them in boiling water for a short amount of time. So I boiled some in my tea kettle, and I'm just going to put about an inch of water in there and put these flowers in that water and count to 30 for about 30 seconds and let it just have that boiling water. And I'm leaving the plastic on to shield them from any steam that's coming off of that water. I only do this with things that I don't know how old they are. Usually things that I buy in the flower shop or that I don't know, reduced flowers. The things that I've picked in the garden today, I'm not going to worry about conditioning because they're so fresh. But I think between things in the yard and these nice inexpensive flowers I bought at the store, the grocery store, we're going to have a really pretty arrangement. So a lot of my ideas for picking things from my garden and arranging them have been inspired by this nice lady, Sheila McQueen. She wrote a great book, and stuff here on the cover talk about one particular kind of flower arrangement, and I'm going to try to do something kind of like that, a lot of white and green. But the New Flower Arranging from Your Garden is quite an inspirational book. You should check it out. On page 39, she talks about conditioning flowers. So these flowers are now ready to arrange, but since they were mushed in the grocery store, I need to carefully pry them apart. This is baby's breath, and you see this in a lot of professional flower arrangements, but you can grow it in your yard too. Anyway, I thought this might make a nice base for this arrangement, sort of a middle part to help hold things together, and then I'll put some big hosta leaves at the bottom to frame it. The biggest stem seems to be this one, so I'm going to clip that right here and put it in. I think that's going to be a good height, so let's get him some company. This one looks good. I want the tall in the middle. Kind of like that. Get some more things to keep him company in there. This is a nice long one here. I think that'll be great. Let's see. I think probably there. I think that might be too bushy. I think that's probably better. We're going to do that. And stick you right here with your tall part in the middle. And I think that little nest of stems will help to arrange the rest of the stems when we get to the heavy things like these white lilies. So I'm just going to keep putting in these stems of baby's breath so that there'll be a lot of stability in this vase. And cut off about 1.5 inches at least at the bottom of each stem so that it'll be able to soak up some of that good floral preservative out of that packet that we mixed into the water. This is nice and bushy, but it obviously is still unbalanced. So let's stick something over on the other side because it's crying out for something to hold it upright on this side. And there you are. Okay. Now, spin it around and see if it needs some more balance. This looks kind of funny. Let's put something there to make that look a little more normal, don't you think? And we'll stick that through there. I think I like that. See if this looks kind of flat on this side, so let me stick something in that little hole too. Something with a nice long stem. That looks good. This has a little burr on it that's going to catch. So I'm going to try to put this in here like this and see if that looks good. Okay, this is starting to look good. This looks a little bit empty here. I'm going to stick that there. That looks pretty good. And put something right here to make it look sort of rustic on this side. That looks pretty good. So I bet you're wondering why I kept those. Well, you have a hole every once in a while, so we'll save them for later. I think I'm going to go ahead and add some more stems to help it have stability. And I think these big hosta leaves that I just picked are going to be a nice frame for it. I've got 3 of them. The principle of 3s. The eye seems to like 3s, so that's what we're doing here, is trying to use these 3 leaves to bring, again, more balance to this piece. And I've got some really nice Solomon seal that I think will also add stability and color and give those lilies something to stand against. And again, I got 3 of them and an extra in case I damaged one or needed to fill a hole later. But I think that's starting to come in. Now we've got these huge lilies. We've got 3 big stems, and one of them is in full bloom. So let's start with this one with full bloom. These are too long. They can't be that tall. They really need to be brought down a little bit. So I'm holding this stem just below the surface so that I know that isn't going to go down any further than the bottom of the vase, right there. And that's where I'm going to cut it. And this will be below the water line and possibly cause bacteria growth. So I want to peel that off. And I don't like that leaf with a hole in it. And I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these anthers. They are only going to be messy, and the flowers seem to last longer if I remove them. And then you also don't have as much pollen running around the room. And if you catch them before the flower completely opens, then you won't even stain the flowers with the pollen. So let's just go ahead and stick this in the middle and see where it balances itself. I'm going to put it all the way to the bottom of the vase and turn the vase. Take the next one that's about to open and see where I want that to be in the vase. Okay, so right here, I think I'm going to cut it right there. I don't want it to be any further than that. Get rid of these lower leaves that might be below the water. And stick it in the middle and see where it balances. Great. Okay. And the last one will go right here. Here's a broken leaf. We don't need that. Told you these flowers were cheap. Okay, so right about there, don't you think? We can always cut it lower if that's too tall. That looks good. I think this is going to make it perfect. And there we are. Okay, that looks great. I'm very happy with that, and it's very aromatic. A nice combination of white and green, and combination of flowers from the garden and flowers from your local grocery store.